A guy in Mexico decided to play around with a spirit board one evening out of pure curiosity. For days, absolutely nothing happened, and he started thinking the whole thing was a waste of time. Then, one night, home alone, he heard footsteps in the hallway, faint at first, then closer, then impossible to ignore. Take a look.
Chi c'è? Chi è? Chi fa casino? Chi è che si sentiva? Chi c'è?
Out of nowhere, something crashed behind him and he couldn't move. The air in the room changed, heavy, dense, like someone was standing right next to him, even though he couldn't see a thing. It rattled him badly. But it didn't stop there. 3 days later, his wife was home alone, and it came for her too.
Chi c'è? La luce. Chi è stato? Chi ha bussato? Non sono pazza. Non sono pazza. C'è qualcuno? Chi c'è? Dove sei? Fatti vedere. Dove sei? No, dove? Da dove? La cucina, la cucina, la cucina. Cazzo. Cazzo. Qui sto sfuggendo di mano.
She heard knocking at the front door, then strange sounds drifting in from the kitchen, then glassware started falling and shattering on the floor with no one near it. Whatever they let in seemed to be growing more confident. They both believe now that that spirit board opened something they had no idea how to close. Was it just fear snowballing out of control, or did they genuinely invite something dark into their home? This guy knew this warehouse. He'd worked there long enough that walking through it in the dark should have felt like second nature. But the night he went back after his shift to grab something he'd forgotten, the lights wouldn't turn on.
I'm about to quit.
And somewhere in that pitch-black hallway, a woman's voice rang out, clear as day. There were no women working that night. That entire section of the building was locked. It was supposed to be completely abandoned. His boss pulled up the security footage looking for a rational answer. He didn't find one.
No, I ain't seen this. Oh my God. That's... What the fuck? Y'all, this shit is wild. It happened right in here. That is fucking crazy. Y'all see that on camera? Rewind the camera back. That's fucking crazy. I gotta be in here one day when it's dark so I can catch that. Wow. It's insane, y'all.
Right there on the camera, a pale, human-shaped figure drifting silently through the warehouse. The way it moved didn't look like it belonged to this world. Nobody has ever been able to explain what it was. And the story doesn't end there. To this day, the warehouse security cameras still trigger motion alerts on their own in the middle of the night, like something is still making its rounds through those dark corridors long after everyone else has gone home. Kyle was just doing an explore, walking through an abandoned house, filming a quick walkthrough to show his partner later. He was expecting dusty furniture, maybe some old junk left behind, normal abandoned house stuff. But the moment he stepped inside, something already felt off. And the footage proves he was right to trust that feeling.
Just got home from work. This needs to stop. I need help, please. Going to explore it later.
Right there in the first few seconds of the video, sitting silently in the empty house, a black cat just staring, which is already unsettling on its own because animals avoid places like that. They don't stay in them. Then a nearby door starts shaking hard with no wind and no draft to explain it. But here's where it gets worse. Later that same night, Kyle's partner sent him a clip from their own home, a door rattling violently on its own, and a doll that had been sitting in plain view earlier in the day had completely vanished. Whatever Kyle walked into that abandoned house didn't stay there when he left. This one comes out of Spain. A guy named Casos is homesick, just trying to rest and get through the day, when he starts hearing strange noises coming from the kitchen. His first instinct is to ignore it. Probably nothing, right? But something told him not to. So he grabbed his phone, hit record, and went to check it out. What he caught on camera genuinely shook him.
Vuelvo a cerrar. Tengo la taza. Esa es mi bebé. Esa pulguita es mi bebé, que se llama Canela. Y esperando. Aquí vean esta piolita. Ya, ahí empezó. Ya. Voy a empezar a huevear. Estoy hueveando. Bueno. No es algo muy normal. La taza se movió. El gato. No es muy agradable la sensación que se vive acá. Ya, es hueveo, ya. Ya, cabros, un ratito para afuera.
A coffee mug, just sliding across the counter by itself. And then it does it again. No draft, no vibration running through the building, no one else anywhere in the house. What makes it especially creepy is how deliberate it looks. It's not falling, it's not rolling off an edge. It moves like something is pushing it slowly, intentionally, just to make a point. If he hadn't been recording, nobody would have believed a word of it. The clip spread fast, and a lot of people watching weren't looking for a rational explanation anymore. Meet Jack, a TikTok guy who's really into collecting old antique stuff. Cool hobby, right? Except somewhere along the way, it seems like something followed one of those relics home. He'd laugh it off publicly, but behind closed doors, weird things had been going on for years. Objects moving when no one touched them, scratching sounds with no source, and noises at 3 a.m. that had no business being there. Take a look.
Okay folks, as you can see, it's almost 20 past 10 in the morning. I decided to start filming because I knew something wasn't right in this house this morning. I've got the fire on, as you can see there, and it's warm outside, but the house is freezing. And furthermore, there's constant, I don't know, scratchy type noises coming from the dining room. So I've got it out there, that's the car, on the off chance. If you're making noises in here, make yourself known. Do it now while I've got an actual camera out again. It's driving me absolutely wild, to be honest. Oh, it's cold. Can you do something to make your presence known? Oh, my TV's gone off. Right, okay. Ooh, there's a bit of an atmosphere, you know, guys. Cat's acting a bit weird as well. What's wrong? You okay? What? Right. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Woo, I'm freaked out. Thank you. What is it you want? Why do you just randomly flare every now and then? The cat is going nuts at the bottom of the stairs. If you've just moved that chair, do something for me again. Can you hear that noise? Sophia, what are you doing? Whoa, what was that? What was that? What was that? What? Jesus.
What you just watched is honestly hard to brush off. Sounds bleeding out of the dining room with no explanation, his cat completely losing it, and the TV just switching off out of nowhere. And then there's the chair. Jack's demeanor shifts pretty noticeably as things escalate. You can tell this isn't the first time, but it's clearly hitting different this time around. He became fully convinced that whatever attached itself to one of his antiques had no intention of leaving. And honestly, watching it back, it's hard to argue with him. This woman works the night shift at a 911 dispatch center, and she started noticing things she couldn't explain. The late hours, the empty hallways, the silence between calls. That's when it started. And once it started, it didn't stop. Take a look.
So not work again. Polter's acting up as we're now referring to her. Maybe it's somebody. I don't know. Nobody should be here. There's literally no one here.
Phones ringing with no connection, drawers sliding open by themselves, and sometimes, in the quiet, she'd hear something whisper her name. What really gets me, though, is the timing. All of this started the exact same day her supervisor announced they were moving to a new building. Almost like whatever was in there overheard that conversation and decided it wasn't going anywhere. Then one night she's recording and she sees something standing in the break room doorway. Watch closely.
So, y'all have been following my polter diaries here lately. So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? Do y'all see that?
She just stops, stares, tries to figure out if she's actually seeing what she thinks she's seeing. After she posted the footage, people online told her whatever it was, don't acknowledge it, don't talk to it. Her boss eventually made sure she was never alone in the building again, but even that didn't make the noises stop. No intruder was ever found, no explanation was ever given. So was it just a stressed out mind working too many late shifts? Or is that building still holding on to something from every desperate call ever made inside its walls? This one happened to a woman out on a solo hike through a wooded trail in a pretty remote area. It was supposed to be a nice, peaceful walk. It was anything but that. Something out there in those trees changed everything.
Hola. Ay, no mames. Güey, ¿qué pedo? No mames, no mames. A la verga. ¿Qué se oye?
Her heart just drops. She thinks maybe someone's lost out there. So she calls back asking who's there. And instead of a name or a response that makes any sense, the voice says 2 words: "Come here." That was enough. She ran. Because it wasn't just what it said, it was how it sounded. Wrong in a way she couldn't explain. She went back a few days later with friends to see if they could find anything. Whatever had been out there was gone, or at least that's what she's hoping. A young graphic designer rented a small workshop for his new clothing brand. While setting up, he found a few old mannequins dumped near the building, free display pieces, so he kept them. He didn't think twice. That was his first mistake. Within days, things started happening in that room he couldn't explain. One night at 3 a.m., he finally picked up his phone and started recording.
La verdad nunca me levanté hasta ahora. Concha de la lora, no, boludo, no. No jodas, boludo. No jodas. Es el maniquí, boludo. Es el maniquí, la concha de la lora. Me chupa 3 huevos, me voy a fijar igual, boludo. Se la concha de su madre. Qué hija de puta, boludo. No te la puedo creer. Y escuché hace un ratito escuché que deslizaban esto. Como si estuvieran revisando la ropa, boludo. Alto cagazo me hizo pegar esta mierda. La concha de la madre, boludo. No.
For just a brief second, something peers from behind that corner, and then it's gone. He steps inside, trying to stay calm, and then one of the mannequins shifts slightly, like it turned to face him. He ran. The next day, he set up a camera to prove it was nothing. Watch closely.
Bueno, esto parece que se rompió. No sé quién habrá sido. Y toda la ropa en el piso. Esto es una locura. Yo no puedo creer esto. Yo no puedo creer. No puedo creer esto.
Because over the next few hours, the footage shows that same mannequin slowly changing position on its own, and then the clothes start falling off the racks, one by one. No reason, no draft, no one in the room. He didn't imagine it. The camera saw it too. Whatever came with those mannequins from that dumpster, it settled in, and it wasn't done. Some things are thrown away for a reason. Alberto runs a tattoo setup from a room inside his house. One room, his equipment, his chair, his clients. Normal enough. Until things started happening in that room he couldn't explain.
A darle. Me enteré. A mi esposa. La neta ya soy bien culo, la neta. Ya ni quisiera. ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Hay alguien ahí? No mames. ¿Ya viste, hija? ¿Ya viste, hija? ¿Hay alguien ahí? Espérate, hija. ¡Hey! Ay, cabrón. Lupita, hasta para allá, Lupita.
Pues tú hazte para acá, ¿entiendes?
Pues no hay alguien aquí, hija. Ay, cabrón.
Entiende, que ya te hagas para acá.
Pues su puta nomás, vámonos para allá. Yo creo que sí lo voy a meter. Cerrar con seguro. Las llaves, las llaves, las llaves, las llaves, las llaves. No hay nadie en la casa. Me pegué. Puta madre, puta madre. No, 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 no. Absolutamente nadie. No hay nadie. Wow. Yo por eso no lo quería hacer.
A chair turning on its own, objects sliding off the table like something was pushing them. He started recording more and more, and the more he recorded, the more it escalated, until that room stopped feeling like it was only his.
Ay, güey. Los chuchos. Ah, Dios mío. Voy a buscar las llaves. No mames, me la jalaron, me la jalaron, me la jalaron. ¿Qué hago? ¿Qué hago? Voy a entrar. Ay, güey. Mames. Voy a entrar, voy a entrar. Aquí no hay nadie. Voy a poner la de esta para que vean que no hay nadie. Sí es cierto lo del cuadro de la monja. No me había fijado yo en este.
In another recording, the door, he starts hearing knocking from inside the walls, doors opening and closing by themselves, and the entire room begins to carry a weight that wasn't there before, like something is trying to get his attention, or like it already has it. Some people who watched his footage believe he unknowingly brought something into that room.
Está viendo la tele, mi perrita se puso incómoda porque están tocando la puerta, pero no sé si oyen. Pero la neta no hay nadie.
An object, an energy, something that decided to stay. The activity never stopped. It grew. Alberto kept the camera running. At this point, it might be the only thing keeping him sane. In an isolated mountain area called Mazamitla, there are wooden vacation cabins tucked between the trees, the kind of place that looks peaceful until the sun goes down. One night, around 4 a.m., a man sleeping in his cabin was jolted awake by loud knocking coming from outside. He lay there, listening, and then something inside the cabin moved on its own. TV. No one near it, no remote. It simply turned itself on in the middle of the night. But that's only the beginning. The following night, something in the forest started screaming. Not an animal, a woman, loud enough to echo across the entire valley. Locals say a woman died alone in a nearby cabin years ago under circumstances nobody fully explained, and some of them claim she's still out there, still watching. They say she's even been caught on camera. Right there, behind that tree, a pale face peering out, disappearing, then reappearing, watching. This isn't a one-time incident either. It keeps happening at Mazamitla. The knocking, the screams, the face in the trees. Visitors keep coming back with footage, and whatever is out there in those woods keeps showing up in it.
If you made it through all of these, drop a comment and let me know which one got under your skin the most. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. See you in the next one.